Guys, you won't believe what I'm about to talk about in today's video. Some people are so bold and they don't want peace. Trouble will be sleeping, they'll just go and wake it up. They want problems all the time, they just don't want peace. How? See, this was uncovered by the UK Home Office, and some migrants are actually in trouble because some of them are really going to face the consequences of this particular action. Let's get into the story already. So I'm going to be reading so that we get the full gist, and then all the details of the story will be there so that we know exactly what happened. Okay, so a woman held for taking citizen test in disguise. So apparently there is this African woman, let me say black woman, because I don't know if she's an African or she's a different kind of black. So let's say a black woman. From the pictures you can see the ethnicity, that the person is a black person, right? So this black woman has been arrested, and why is that? She's been committing immigration fraud. Immigration fraud. Of all the things that are going on these days, deportation and various debates about making it so difficult for immigrants to become British citizens. And then this is the time that you choose to commit immigration fraud. Well, she didn't really start at this time. I think she started somewhere in 2022, yeah? And this is when she has been caught. So it says, a woman held for taking citizen test in disguise. She has been disguising herself, wearing different kind of wigs and taking tests for both men and women. She would just wear a wig and pretend to be you, take your ID, do whatever, fake documents, and go and take the test for you. But she wouldn't do that if you haven't contacted her to do it, right? So it means you know she's in this business, anyone who has contacted her. And now that she has been caught, you can imagine the number of people that will be in trouble for this. Let's go on with the story, guys. A 61-year-old woman has been arrested after allegedly dressing up in a series of wigs and disguise to take life in the UK test on behalf of others. Immigration enforcement investigators arrested the woman at an address in Enfield on Monday on suspicion of fraudulently completing the citizenship test for at least 14 applicants, both male and female. So this is what they have actually compiled, 14. It could be more actually from how the story sounds, but this is what they have found out, that she has taken tests after she has been caught and some investigations done. They realized that she has taken tests for 14 applicants, both male and female. 61-year-old. Why now? Why do you want to go on retirement in prison? Some people are so bold. Hey, auntie, you are not afraid. See, there are some things that you just don't do it, because when you are caught, even maybe you have decided that this is when you are going to stop, and you stop, the past will just catch up with you. See this, now you have been caught, and those who have been patronizing her services, something as big as this, you just ruin it by doing a fraudulent activity. Someone doesn't know what the life in the UK test is. Actually, one of the processes you go through, you write an exam that is called Life in the UK test, where you are asked about history and everything about the UK. Then when you pass, you can go ahead to apply for your indefinite leave to remain. Yeah. Then going forward, you can apply for British citizenship, right? So it's part of the processes that you go through if you are eligible to apply for your indefinite leave to remain. You have to pass this test. It's a test that you can keep writing. If you fail, or if you keep failing, you can go ahead and write as many times as possible, and then you keep paying £50. So usually it's just best that you study, go and pass once and for all. I haven't taken the test yet. I'm not eligible at the moment, but I have seen various YouTube videos, various people talking about how easy the test has been, and if you learn study materials, what to read and how to go about ask questions and how to actually pass this test. Okay, so in my mind, it's not really something that is so difficult, even though I haven't written it yet. Maybe I'll get there to cross that. And so something as huge as this, you decide to get it fraudulently. So now, if you are caught, because she's caught and some evidence have obviously been found, and it to link back to you, come back to you. After all this time, spending all these years in the UK, working so hard, and you are eligible for this big milestone, and you decide that you will use fraud to obtain this. This is so unfortunate. And the balls, 61-year-old, what are you doing? Immigration Enforcement Criminal and Financial Investigator Inspector Philip Parr said, thanks to his investigators, we have put a stop to this dangerous scheme. So they believe she's not doing it alone. It's probably a scheme that people are really involved in, and they've gotten some people. I don't know if it's probably linked to this particular one or a different thing, but they see it as a scheme, and then they are really working on stopping this fraud. He added, this individual is believed to have orchestrated a premeditated plan to avoid detection, meticulously selecting disguises and test center locations across the country to evade authorities. Okay, so she would disguise herself, and then she's so smart, she won't repeat most of the test centers. She would go across the UK to write this test in various test centers so that she is not recognized. Okay, so it's not so easy to recognize her if she goes to a different center at a different date or time. And then I don't know how, but some feel like most Africans look alike. So if she pastes her face on your ID card and laminates it, then they take it as that is her. But then she's writing it on the person's behalf, on her customer's behalf. The 61-year-old bus driver, who cannot yet be named for legal reasons, is alleged to have donned various wigs and disguises to pass herself off at least 14 different people, both female and male. 61-year-old bus driver. So you've lived your life from young adulthood to old age, and then this is when you decide to commit a crime, when you are already in your old age. Is it now that you want to go to prison? After linking up with clients through social media, she is alleged to have doctored their identity documents by inserting a photo of her in disguise over the legitimate photo before laminating it. So she will get the customer's ID card, then she will paste her photo on it and then laminate it so that it will look like she's the one taking, that's her name on the ID card, but then that's her photo. So when you look, you don't see different faces and wonders. Investigators who were tipped off by suspicious test center staff believe she was working as part of a wider organized crime group. They say she is one of the most prolific citizenship test fraudsters they have come across. Oh, auntie, you are going to put sand in some of us our Gary, because we are yet to qualify for this ILR, and all this fraud is coming up. You do, and they'll tighten some rules and change some things, and then it's going to affect us. It's so unfortunate. It's so unfortunate. So they believe that she's not doing it alone. She's part of an organized crime group that do this fraud, take tests for people to pass, and then get paid. So they raided her house, and then they found so many different types of wigs. The wigs were found in a large red suitcase inside the woman's clotted Enfield flat, alongside a passport and 2 driving licenses under different names. So they found that and other documents belonging to other people. These photos show the suspected fraudsters wearing some of the wigs she used to pose as clients who paid her to take live in the UK test on their behalf. Criminal investigator Dean Thomas told Mail Online from outside the flat, "This morning, we arrested a woman for fraud and identity document offences. She has been taking live in the UK test on behalf of other individuals to help them obtain unfair advantage. The tests are applied for online. She would have then attended the the test center wearing a disguise, mainly the wigs that were seized, yeah, while carrying the identity documents of the applicant with her face glued and laminated on it. That's smart. I mean, she's bold and smart. I give it up for her, but this is so wrong. This is so wrong. I don't know, but some people really are so bold. And at age 61, I thought the young people were more daring and could do such unthinkable things like this just because you want quick cash and all. But then the elderly people are more thoughtful and more sure of the things to do to avoid trouble. And so this story is really something that baffles me, that you would retire at your old age and this is how you want to throw all the years of hard work away. It's so unfortunate. I mean, Mr. Thomas said the woman visited lots of different centers in an attempt to evade detection as part of the carefully planned scam. We don't believe she was the only one doing this as part of the organized crime group, he said. She isn't the first person to be arrested in this investigation and certainly wouldn't be the last. We will work day and night until this crime is stopped. So yeah, we have it there. They have arrested some people already connected to this type of fraud, and she's not the first and she wouldn't be the last. So if you are into this fraud, please stop for your own good, because the authorities are really keen on getting the fraudsters who are doing this immigration fraud. Okay, and if you are there and someone is encouraging you to do something wrong, just close your ears. Don't pay anyone to go and write your test. There are so many resources out there. There are so many videos. People who have passed and made videos of how the test went, what they used to study, the materials and everything. Just do your due diligence, study and go and write your test. Okay, even if you fail, do it again, because this is a very important milestone that you wouldn't want anything like this to jeopardize. As for this auntie, oh my goodness, now the law has caught up with him. Those that they have identified would obviously face the consequences. He said the investigators had so far identified 14 of the woman's customers who would now have their applications for British citizenship denied. Look at it. After all these years, after all the money spent, renewing your visa, paying for all this, and then you use just this. Even you don't know what would have happened if you had just sat for the exam, right? So maybe you would have passed. And now look at it. You'd have no chance now, and your application is going to be denied. And this story is so unfortunate, and it's really painful that an immigrant will put herself in this position. You know how hard it is to already be an immigrant, all the noise, all the things going on about immigration, deportation and all that. It's a very worst time to decide to engage yourself in fraud. Okay, so to my immigrant brothers and sisters out there, if something does not sound right to you, don't do it. Okay, if someone is asking you to do something that you know is fraudulent, don't do it. Someone might say, oh, can you help me take this test because you are knowledgeable or you've taken it before or something, and the checks are not really rigorous and so you can pass through. Don't do it. You would want to stay out of trouble. Okay, and so yeah, let's see the outcome of this investigation and see the woman's fate at the end. But stay safe and stay out of trouble, everyone. My name is Philomena, and if you're coming across my channel for the very first time, thank you for watching. I talk about motherhood, life in the UK, lifestyle and general inspirations. So if this interests you in any way, kindly consider subscribing to the channel, like and share the video. I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.